Today, we're diving into something truly special. It's the story of a single DIY project, a robot, and its incredible evolution over 10 whole years. We get to see it go from its very first spark of an idea all the way to its latest AI-powered form. It's an amazing story about passion and what can happen when you just stick with it.
So, here's the journey we're about to take. This timeline pretty much lays out its entire life story. We're going to start back in 2014 with its super humble, handcrafted beginnings. Then we'll see it start to wake up with new senses, learn to communicate, and then, wow, take this massive leap into AI before its final evolution into a pet robot named Cubo.
All right, every great journey has a beginning, right? And for this robot, that journey kicked off in 2014. And not in some high-tech lab, but with that classic maker mindset. Just use what you've got and start building. You know, when you look at the creator's log from that first year, it was just this flurry of raw, hands-on experimentation. I mean, forget about expensive kits. We're talking prototypes made from the most basic stuff you can imagine. One version was made from a CD, another from a tin can, and yeah, even one from cardboard. This wasn't about getting it perfect on day one. It was about bringing an idea to life with pure, scrappy creativity.
And really, that's the core lesson from this whole early phase, isn't it? You don't need a fancy state-of-the-art lab to invent something cool. You just need an idea and the guts to try and fail, and then try again with whatever you can get your hands on.
Okay, so by 2017, the project takes its next massive step forward. The focus kind of shifts from just being an object to becoming a creation that could actually perceive the world around it. Basically, the robot was about to wake up.
So the creator came up with this really fascinating concept they called amoeba sensing expression. By putting in sound, ultrasonic, and light sensors, the robot could suddenly react to things. And you can see this really clear, methodical process here. First, just get the idea working. Step 2, shrink it all down. And finally, step 3, make it tough enough to last. That's just beautiful engineering in action.
So by 2019, just sensing things wasn't enough. The next logical step, of course, was interaction. This is the year the robot stopped just listening and started to find its own voice, both, literally and figuratively. This was a huge level up. The creator very cleverly integrated smart speaker tech and a special chip just for voice recognition. And then, reading the logs, you see the breakthrough. They got text-to-speech and speech-to-text working. All of a sudden, the robot wasn't just a machine with sensors anymore, it could understand you and it could talk back. This was the first real step towards it having a personality. And this quote, pulled right from the development log, it just perfectly captures the spirit of the project. It translates to something like, "Oh wow, before I even realized it, this thing has turned into a whole microcomputer system." It's this awesome moment of self-awareness, It shows that even the creator was kind of amazed at how this simple hobby was just organically growing into something so much more powerful than they ever planned. Okay, so if giving the robot senses was like waking it up, and giving it a voice was like teaching it to speak, then 2024 was the year it got a mind. This is, without a doubt, the most revolutionary step in the whole story, the leap into artificial intelligence. And to make this happen, the creator didn't just plug into some generic AI. No, they custom-built an entire architecture to be the robot's new brain. They named it Kobo, and it was designed for one thing and one thing only, to be great at conversation. And here's where we see the really clever philosophy behind Kobo. See, the standard term for AI is Jingong Chuhui, or artificial intelligence. But the creator made up their own term, Gongren Chuhui, which means worker's intelligence. And this isn't just a cute name, it's a totally different way of thinking about what the AI is actually doing. So here's the crucial part. This is how it works. It's a team effort. The system uses the massive creative power of a model like GPT AI to come up with a nearly endless supply of things to say, but it's the onboard worker's intelligence that actually does the work of picking and delivering that dialogue in a way that feels natural and responsive. It's not just artificial, it's smart and functional. And finally, after a whole decade of building and programming and dreaming, all of these separate systems, the body, the senses, the voice, the AI brain, they all come together. In 2025, the project is reborn in its final, polished form.
Let's just pause on that for a second. 10+ years. From that first little prototype made from a CD all the way back in 2014 to this sophisticated little pet robot. This isn't just a project, it's a monument to long-term dedication.
Now officially named Kubo, the robot got its final critical upgrades. It got autonomous movement, which is triggered by sound. Its body was perfected with detailed carving and some aluminum blocks for weight and balance. And its brain got a big upgrade to a modern ESP32 chip. It even has its own custom case. This isn't a prototype anymore. It's the real deal, a complete, polished creation.
You know, when you look back, it is absolutely incredible to think that this intelligent, responsive little companion started out as a simple CD and some cardboard. It's just proof that the most amazing things often begin with the simplest actions. This whole journey started with a CD. So what will you start building today?